That was just me icing the competition, that whole thing. That's all that was.
Trying to psych us out.
I told Twitter I would live tweet, but we'll see if I actually do it.
Oh,
All
gosh,
right,
it's hard.
welcome to another round of Q&A with Caleb Roehrig and Jodie Lynn Zdrok, which hopefully I said your last name
You
close.
did. You did. And even if you didn't, that's okay, because I kept calling you Anna last time. So it's going to be Anna this time, I promise, mostly.
All right, so we'll start off with a bit of Q&A, and then we'll go to playing some more Golden Girls trivia. So we have, get them. All right, so first of all, introduce yourself and your latest book or upcoming book, and that's to whoever wants it first.
Go for it.
Oh. Hello, I am Caleb Roehrig. So right now, if you pardon me, I have out in print is A Werewolf in Riverdale, which came out in April. And this is exactly what it sounds like. It is a tie-in with Archie Horror, which is an imprint of Archie Comics, and it is about a werewolf in Riverdale. Having a very horror and monster filled 2020 in many ways, but that's one of them. Next week on Tuesday, out now, Queer We Go Again releases. This is an anthology edited by Sandra Mitchell. I have a short story in here, and it is called What Happens in the Closet, and it is about two boys who are hiding from a vampire invasion at their homecoming dance. And
that's cool.
I know, I had so much fun writing that story, actually, that when I finished it, I did not want to leave the universe that I had created, and so I didn't, and instead I drafted an entire novel called The Fell of Dark, which releases.
So that's where it came from? That is so
Yes.
That is so great. That is so great.
Yeah, it was sort of like writing the short story. All I knew is that it had to be about queer kids, and I was struggling to figure out what my kind of entree was into that, because I rarely write anything that doesn't have murder in it. So I was kind of like, well, what's my spin on this? And I drafted a short story that it was serviceable, but it really wasn't very inspired. It was just a story about a kid who has a crush on a boy who may or may not be gay. And they were theater kids, because I was a theater kid in high school. And I was like, if I'm kind of not really coming up with a plot, I should at least write what I'm familiar with. I don't know. I wrote the first 500 words, and it just didn't feel right. And so I went back to the drawing board, and I was kind of like, I want to write about vampires. I tried to write a vampire story 10 years ago when they were really popular. But it's one of those things where it's like, as soon as you can identify a trend, it's over, because the market is saturated. And yeah. So I basically did one of those where I wrote a story that could never be sold because it was way too late. So I just sort of trunked it. But I was like, I always wanted to, because I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a huge storytelling influence for me.
That's
and I always wanted to, I always wanted to dip my toes into the world of the undead. So I pitched the idea to Sandra, and they said sure. And then after I finished writing it, I wrote to my editor at Macmillan, and I was like, I think this is really what I want to do next. I just had so much fun with it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And when does it come out?
July 14th.
Oh, this is a big year. Holy moly. So one after another, you have 3 things coming out this year.
Believe it or not, I have 5 things coming out this year.
5? You're just getting started. Wow.
I know. Well, one of them, actually 2 of them were very last minute. One of them came up in November of 2019, and that will release in October. And the other one I actually finished. It's a short story. The other one is a short story that I finished writing in March, and that's going to be in a German anthology that comes out in October also.
Oh, that is so great.
So published exclusively in German. It'll be my first solely German language publication.
Really?
Yeah.
So you wrote it in German?
I did not.
Oh, okay. It's translated.
Exactly,
Okay.
It'll be translated. But the nice thing is, so my mother-in-law is fluent, and so whenever I need to say or do something in German, I've had to record a couple of videos in German, and so I'll like write it and I'll send it to her and she'll translate it for me and then I'll like perform it for the camera.
Oh, that's so great.
I know,
That's
yeah.
so
So I
great.
can say a few things in German, but only like a few very specific things that I had scripted out and then translated for me.
Yeah. 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 Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch, but so I have an appreciation for that for sure. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
And
So my turn. Okay. Oh wait.
That's it
First,
for
I'm gonna
me.
reach for my book. I only have one book coming out this year, and so far nothing else after that in any years. But Sensational is my sophomore novel. It is a sequel to Spectacle, and both of them are set in 1880s Paris. This one takes place a couple years after the first one. Kind of a standalone duology, but set at the World's Fair. And it's so hard for me to talk about mystery stuff without giving it away. But we still have the Paris morgue, we still have magic, we still have visions of murder, and we have what we now call a serial killer on the loose at the Paris World's Fair in 1889. So fun stuff. It was a lot of fun to write. I really enjoyed writing this one. Wrote it under a tight deadline, but really enjoyed it. So
yeah,
that's it.
Yay.
And I will say that I do have.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That is so great.
yeah. So this is a German copy of Last Seen Leaving, and Caleb signed it in
That is so
German.
cool.
And
That
this is the
great.
German copy of White Rabbit.
Oh, that is awesome. I love it.
Translates, yeah, it translates to Nobody Tells the
I
Truth.
also have. So
That is a great collection to have. Very nice.
Yeah.
all right. So next question: if you could write a short story set in the world of one of your books, which book or character would it feature, and why?
I would do a short story about Aunt Brigitte, who is a character in both books, who is confined to an asylum for reasons that are spoilers if you haven't read the book, but very tied to both plots, if you have, and a tragic figure, fascinating figure. And if I could do a short story, it would probably be a prequel, her story when she was much younger.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
For me, so I already wrote a short story, like as a pre-order giveaway incentive for Death Prefers Blondes. I wrote a short story that was set within the world of Last Seen Leaving. If I were to write another short story featuring characters from before, I think what would appeal to me the most, like just from a writer standpoint, I would like to write a short story that centered April, the little sister from White Rabbit, or possibly maybe like a prequel-y short story for Death Prefers Blondes, but that featured Georgia, who is she's one of the characters. She's a drag queen who runs a drag review called Tuck, Marry, Kill. And I'd be interested, because she's been doing drag for a really long time. I'd be interested to write a short story centering that character.
Get a lot of material there.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens, because I am organizing a pre-order giveaway for The Fell of Dark, and I'm trying to figure out I have a bookmark. I've got a little like art card thing. I'll have a signed book plate, and I'm trying to come up with I'd love to have like another thing that I offer. I'm just sort of trying to figure out what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I sort of feel like right now, like at this particular point in time, I don't know, I wasn't going to do a pre-order giveaway, but then I was like, well, it'll support the post service, and
It's a thank you to the people who,
Yeah.
pre-order. That's what I did last time too.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it kind of makes it more exciting too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since we're like in an age where you can't go to an event and get a signed book or whatever. So so we'll see. We'll figure it out. So I might have a short story. Who knows?
A short story about Golden Girls trivia.
Exactly. All right, a short story featuring like a like slightly modified version, so I don't like violate any copyright laws.
Right.
All right. So both of you have experience with writing historical fiction. Jodie with 2 full-length books, and Caleb has a published short story. So what time period, other than the ones you've published, would you be interested in exploring in future fiction?
Huh. Oh, see, the thing is, the thing is, I'm in the middle of working on a manuscript that is set in 1939, but that's also the one piece of published historical fiction that I wrote is like I think it's 1942. So it's the same time period. So let's see, but like an earlier time period, I would totally want to write something that's set in like the 20s, or I would go back and set something in like the 18th century. I would think it'd be fun to write something set in the 1700s.
Yeah, shopping around a boarding school ghost story set in 1925. So I'm rooting for that, of course.
Yeah.
But other periods, I like 1940s Hollywood. You know, that's really compelling. And or like 1920s Berlin would also be pretty cool. I think.
Yeah.
You know, something cabaret centric. You know.
Have you read any of Rebecca Cantrell has a series of books set in Berlin in sort of like I think the first one is 1929, and then she carries it through World War II, and it's about a German journalist who flees Berlin for Switzerland, and then she comes back, and it's all
I'd
about
like that.
intrigues. Oh, they're really good. They're really extensively researched and really interesting. And the first one, I think it's 1929, and it's this woman solving her brother's murder in the cabaret scene.
Nice.
Like late Weimar Republic, right before the rise of the Nazis.
Yep.
So it's really, really fascinating.
I like that a lot.
It's called.
Write that down.
Yeah, it's called A Touch of Smoke, I think. A Trace of Smoke. Something like that.
Something with light smoke somewhere.
Something with smoke.
Smoke with a light touch.
Exactly. I'm gonna.
And I blurbed a book, and it's coming out soon. Actually, the date moved by Terry Bailey Black, called Chasing Starlight, and it's set in 1930s Hollywood. That was a fun read, a murder mystery, fun read.
Another book then. What's it called? Oh, A Trace of Smoke is the Rebecca Cantrell. What was the one that you just said? It was called Terry. What's the?
Terry Bailey Black.
Bailey Black. I'm gonna look that up. I have another book that I love. Is what is going on here? Is called Stardust, and it's by Joseph Cannon, who wrote The Good German.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. He wrote, his specialty is like just immediate post World War II kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, like murder spy type, like thrillers, and Stardust is set in Hollywood in like 1948, I think.
Yeah, I'd like that.
That's really, really good. Maybe I spelled it wrong. What's the name of the book?
So I hope you like the 40s, Anna, because we're probably going to end up there sooner or later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was the name of the book? You said what?
Chasing Starlight. I'm pretty sure I have the arc behind me somewhere. I do. This is fun. There we go. Chasing Starlight. Yeah.
Excellent.
Just fun. Just a fun read. You felt like you were in a 1930s movie, you know? Like, that's what was cool about it. The vibe was really good.
Fantastic. That's so cool. That's basically, it's like the book that I'm writing, that I'm working on right now. It's an adult thriller. It's not YA, but it's 1939 set in Hollywood. So
nice.
How interesting.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Fun.
All right. So next question. One of the Golden Girls randomly shows up in your book. Like, which one would it be, and what would they be doing?
Sophia would absolutely show up at the morgue. I have no question. You know how there were a lot of funerals actually in Golden Girls, right? There were a lot of wakes and funerals there. So I figure, you know, old people read the obituaries a lot. I think she would do that 100%. Yeah, no question. And I can see her hanging out at the World's Fair too. You know, sitting on a bench, making fun of people. Sounds like something Sophie would do.
I can also see that. That she would absolutely have been somebody who would go to the morgue.
Yeah.
Just for.
Yeah,
to
just
get a
part of the daily
sundae.
routine, you know?
Exactly. Yep. So my question, I just to clarify, this has to be like an actual book that we have read, like one of our books, as opposed to like, so that they show up in one of our books. I don't know, like create a book that they
No, like one of your books.
one of my books. Well, for one thing, I absolutely think that the girls would have ended up at a show of Tuck, Marry, Kill. I can totally see them going to Ruby's Lounge.
Yeah, and there were drag golden girls shows, right? So that's a good
Yes,
tie-in, actually. That would they
absolutely.
totally would. They'd totally be down for that.
Yeah, I can see that a little more than I think I could see one of them popping up in The Fell of Dark, just because that's a little bit, it's a little, I think if one of them were to show up in The Fell of Dark, it would probably be Blanche, because Augie is an art student and Blanche is an art, well, she works in art, so she would be a reasonable person to.
That's true, actually.
No,
Right, like a
see-
museum, right?
Yeah.
Blanche's
See,
museum hours, yeah.
And right now, I'm picturing Blanche as a vampire because she fell in love with one, and so she agreed to become one.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, and God bless her, she is vain enough. She would want to stay young forever.
That's
Young
true.
and beautiful. So I could.
So
I
that
could
episode
also,
about the curse, right? That's when she'll make the change, right?
exactly. I would love to see. I would love to have like a vampire Golden Girls, like to just one where they all are undead for some reason.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
navigating that. That'd be great.
And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm live tweeting something about this. That's all.
All right, and so last question. So have you picked up on any weird pastimes during this time? So for example, I've been watching gymnastics competitions starting with 1976 onward because USA Gymnastics YouTube page has full competitions starting from 1976.
I was a huge Mary Lou fan when I was a kid. I took gymnastics for a while, so I had the Mary Lou outfit and the whole shebang.
Oh wow.
That might be my weird habit to pick up, Anna. That might be it. I might start watching women's gymnastics from 76 onward myself.
Yeah, I don't think that I've picked up any habits. It's sort of like I ran out of internet a while ago where it was like I kind of like reached the terminus of everything. So it's like I take these like geography quizzes every day, trying to just like challenge myself on my knowledge of world geography. Last night I had to name all 197 countries of the world, and I got 188 of them right.
Really? That
Yeah.
is impressive.
I know. Darn you, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
That's really good.
And, you know what? You know what makes me mad? I got South Sudan and I forgot to write Sudan.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes. So
And that's
mad.
a thing too. Like the South Sudanese are passionate about that, right? About not being called Sudanese. So wow, of all things, yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
I
guess
go
that's
ahead.
mine.
I thought you're done.
Yeah, sorry. That was it. I said that's mine.
Can you hear the rain in the background? Because it just started pouring. It's been raining here a few days. We've got a subtropical storm parked off the coast, so no, you can't hear it. All right, I'll leave the window open.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up any weird habits, but like you said, you're doing geography. I've got a little more disciplined about my Duolingo. So every day I make sure I do Duolingo. And then another app that's fun, just a brain teaser, kind of strengthen your mind and skill sets with math and reading and stuff, is Elevate. And I got it a few years ago, and then I stopped using it forever and ever. I'm like, I'm going to try to get into daily habit again. So not so much weird as a little bit more discipline. I mean, weird in that I talk to the cats more than ever. So the neighbors might be a little concerned because I've got a cat voice that I use. And, I just can't imagine what people think, because it's not like I'm quiet about it, and the windows are open now. So other than exposing my weird cat voice to others, that's it for me. Yeah.
All right. And so now are you ready for the Golden Girls Trivia Smackdown?
We are.
I'm ready. I think.
I really appreciated Caleb's gift choice yesterday.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The day before.
Which
I
one
sent
was it?
I sent that story to Jodie immediately.
That was great. That was great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That was great.
I know. As I was like, who makes these things? But thank you, because that was
Perfect.
awesome. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go Caleb, Jodie,
Sure.
back and forth. All right, so first question, Caleb. According to Rose, what city is known as the city that never naps?
Well, I feel like the obvious answer is Saint Olaf, but I feel like it was the one. It was the other one. It was Saint.
Like the sister city, right?
Yeah. Uh, Saint Olaf and Saint. Crap! What was the name of it? It's their sister city. Saint. Oh, sorry, my my like my computer was like the screen automatically went to sleep. Um, uh, Saint Olaf and Saint. I can't remember the name of it. Saint
Right.
Bernadette.
Jodie, do you have a guess?
No, because it would have been the sister city to Saint Olaf, and it's not
Yeah.
Saint Olaf, so
Yeah,
Right.
Saint Gustav.
Saint Gustav.
Gustav.
We were right,
Gustav.
even
Okay.
if we were wrong.
That's
All
right.
right, so Jodie, this is a quote. So who said, "It takes a big woman to forgive somebody calling her a slut"?
Okay. I mean, I always have a 1 in 4 chance, right? I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere. That's why I'm not good at these, like out of context. I'm not good at the quotes. I'm gonna say Dorothy.
That's incorrect.
I'm pretty sure it was Rose.
It was.
Yeah. Because it was I'm trying to remember the circumstances, but I
Believe it was directed towards Blanche.
yes, yeah, it was towards Blanche because
Well, I figured that part. So that was
Yeah.
I said, well, I've really got a 1 in 3, right?
Yeah, I think it was about Sophia, but I can't remember.
All right, Caleb. Name the man at the front door with Blanche when Rose shot it.
Oh my gosh. It was I knew this was gonna come up and I knew I was gonna forget his name. It's Harry, but I can't remember his last name.
That is incorrect.
Damn!
Oh.
Ah!
Oh yeah.
Darn it.
Oh no.
Ah,
No, I don't know. And
It
as soon as you say it, I'm gonna know.
was Lester.
oh, Lester. Oh. Well, I wasn't gonna get that.
Yeah, Lester.
I'd rather you shot Lester.
All right, Jodie.
I remember that line.
According to Blanche, who lost the stuffing out of his comforter?
Stuffing. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'll say Stan, but I don't think it's Stan. So I'm just gonna throw a name out there.
Was it Big Daddy?
It was.
Really?
Wasn't that 'cause when he
Okay.
marries the much younger
young
woman?
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm better at answering the questions that aren't asked to be.
That's all right. I'm not gonna get them right. So
Don't worry, they get.
I'm here to improve my Golden Girls trivia, not actually to participate as a contestant.
This is me
All right.
taking half of these geography quizzes where it's like, because my knowledge of, since I lived in Europe for a while, my knowledge of European geography is pretty good. But my knowledge of like African and Asian geography is terrible.
Yeah.
So I take a lot of quizzes on like Africa and Asia so I can try. So it's like me trying to remember like the names of African capitals where I'm like, because I've got
That's
like,
a really good idea, though. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. That's a good way to do it. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so who said this? I'm healthy as a horse. Unfortunately, I'll wind up looking like one.
Oh. That's me, right?
That's you. Yeah.
Dorothy.
That's incorrect.
Oh, come on.
Because I'm trying to think of various ailments people had. I don't know. Rose?
It was Rose.
Okay. Was that after her? Okay.
So we're at an exciting score of 1-2. All right. So, who
Bangs. My
dated?
bangs. I look like a sheepdog. I keep making this joke on Twitter because it's true. Anyway,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah.
I had to rinse my hair so that it would all sit flat on my head.
It's good. It's in place.
Yeah.
So this is Jodie's question. So who dated and married Blanche's Uncle Lucas?
Who dated and married Blanche's Uncle Lucas? That's not who Dorothy married, is it? It was? Really? How did I forget that? All right.
Yeah, 'cause
Dorothy, then.
she became a Hollingsworth.
I'm like, all right, well, she's the only one that got married. And, and it wasn't Sophia.
That's true. Sophia did get married a couple of times.
A couple times, right?
Yeah.
All right, Caleb. Name the high school teacher on whom Dorothy had a crush who came to see her in Miami.
Was it Mr. O'Brien?
It was not.
Gosh darn it. I'm just batting
Jodie, do you
1,000.
have a guess?
Me?
Yeah.
I was hoping it was a Fritz Stickelmeyer question, but it's not. And I can't make that guess. So I don't have one other than Fritz Stickelmeyer. And I know it's wrong, but it's just fun to say.
Mr. Gordon.
Okay.
Mr. Gordon. No, I wasn't going to get that either. Father O'Brien was the guy that she was having the relationship with, and Sophia disapproved. But
I really hope that one of you gets this question right, because this is probably one of my favorite moments in the whole series.
Is what? Say it again.
This is probably one of my favorite moments in the whole
Oh, okay.
series. So this is, why was the runner-up disqualified from St. Olaf's Woman of the Year award, resulting in Rose taking the award?
I don't remember. I'm out.
it's like because it was either because she was dead or because she was a pig. Like she wasn't human.
No, she had a skeleton in her closet, and
Oh,
he
literally
right.
had a skeleton in her
it was
closet.
her husband.
It was her husband. Yeah. Gosh darn it. Oh well. Quarantine has fried my brain.
In the premiere episode, why didn't Blanche marry Harry?
Because he was a bigamist.
Correct.
It's like the
Finally.
only one I've known so far.
I know. Exactly.
What was the name of the pig Rose inherited and the girls helped raise?
Baby.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a quote. 86 the watercress. I'll have the orange duck and a double Jack Daniels on the rocks. This is from a season 1 episode, if that helps at all.
That's Blanche.
Yes, because I just rewatched that episode.
Is that when she's dating Dirk or?
Yeah, like the young guy.
Yeah,
Right.
the young guy who tells her that she reminds him of her grandma.
Yeah,
of his
isn't
grandma.
that Dirk? Wasn't his name Dirk the instructor, the aerobics instructor, right?
That sounds right. I can't remember what his name was, but I
think-
just remember.
yeah. That's what I thought, yeah. But that's the guy, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
And then we have, if you're gonna be my lump of clay, you're going to have to be a little bit smarter.
Who said it?
Yes.
You're gonna be my lump of clay. All right. I'm terrible out of context. Blanche?
Yes.
That was when she was coaching Rose on how to string Miles along without having to tell him why. Right? Wasn't that episode? Where she was like,
No idea.
the one where she's like, you know, like, and then, you know, it'll be long about this time that he asks if you're seeing somebody else, and that's when you like boop him on the nose and you say, Ma, I
Yeah.
do declare, I believe you're jealous.
All right. So
You can
next
picture Rose saying that.
Mhm.
is one more quote, and then you get a break from them. I'll be happy to go anywhere they don't spit on Americans.
Was that Dorothy?
It was not.
Wasn't? No? Okay, because that would have been my guess, too. Sophia?
It was Rose.
Rose was going to be my second guess.
She was my third guess.
It's like I can hear it in her voice, but I can't remember and I remember the line. I just can't remember anything about the line. Who said it, why they said it, where they said it.
All right. Who dated one of the cast members of Beatlemania?
I don't remember that. Is it me or is it Caleb? I don't know.
I think it's you, but I know the answer.
I don't know it. Well, I'll make a guess. I might as well, right? Dorothy.
Yes.
Maybe it's not a guess. Maybe it's just hiding way back there. I peel back a few layers and we're good. ...
What a girl I got.
Yeah.
What is the St. Olaf Woman of the Year trophy made of?
Oh my gosh. Oh, of course I get this one. Butter.
Incorrect.
What else could it be made out of? Bacon?
It's made out of milk chocolate wrapped in gold foil.
Ooh.
That's not so bad.
I know. That sounds like pretty good trophy.
All right. Which Golden Girl unwittingly dated a gangster named the Cheese Man?
Is this me? Do I finally get a
Yeah.
softball? Here I am. I'm backing up. I'm catching it. Rose.
Yes.
Finally, she gets like her second one.
And right now, Jodie is in the lead over Caleb.
How does that happen?
Oh no.
All right. So, Caleb, name the 3 spin-offs from the Golden Girls.
Oh, all right. So obviously Golden Palace, Empty Nest, and then a third spinoff. I don't think I'm going to get this one because... Oh my gosh. No, I'm blanking on the third one.
Jodie, do you know the third one?
Nurses?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh, of course. Right. Yeah.
That was not a very long-lived show.
It lasted 3 seasons.
Did it really?
Yes.
Okay.
And Sophia was on a few episodes.
She was the only one who was on 3, right? Who was on 3 episodes or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. All right. So then we go back to Jodie. If you're not denying you're in denial, then you're in denial.
Yeah, that sounds like a Rose thing. But...
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Jodie has double Caleb's score.
I don't know how that happened.
Quick, ask me more questions. Let me catch up.
All right, Caleb. As what singing duo did Sophia and Dorothy appear at a local talent show?
Oh my gosh. This is why I'm falling behind. I have no idea.
What was the first part?
It was
As what singing duo? did Sophia and Dorothy
Oh,
appear?
No,
Oh, I
I
know
do know.
this.
It's Sonny and Cher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finally.
All right. So this is another quote. I've never felt so good and so cheap in my whole life.
I mean, that's so obviously. Ugh. I don't know. I'm just gonna say if I say Dorothy for everything, I've got like a 25% chance. Let's go with Dorothy.
That is incorrect.
Was it Sophia?
It was Rose.
Ah, nuts.
Because
Okay.
Sophia would have been my second choice. So
Yeah.
Caleb, what song did Blanche perform atop a piano at the Rusty Anchor?
I wanna be loved by you.
Correct.
Boop boop dee doo.
Okay. And then Jodie, what's the title of the Golden Girls Golden spin-off?
The Golden Palace?
Yes.
That was an easy one. I feel bad, but that's okay.
It's the way the ball bounces.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, I know I told you where babies come from, but did I ever mention where they come out?
Oh, that's Sophia.
That is not.
Oh,
No?
gosh darn it.
I thought for sure. Oh, wow.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Blanche.
That is correct.
I'm wondering if it was with her daughter and the artificial insemination, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. All right. It's
It's always
another
good
quote.
when you start laughing before you even ask the question.
Boy, no wonder nobody likes you.
Who's this? Is this Caleb's or mine? I think Caleb. Yep.
Oh, that's to me?
Is it? Who is it to?
Say Caleb.
Okay.
Gosh darn it. What's the quote again?
Boy, no wonder nobody likes you.
That's Rose.
Yes.
Yeah, thank God. I got one.
All right. This one you should get.
Which means I won't.
I don't care if you have a pulse, much less a nice day.
I don't care. Wait. I gotta. It's raining so loud. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Hold on. I'm gonna shut the window. Yeah, it's really cool and moody, but I don't even know where the volume is on this computer. So, can you say that again?
I don't care if you have a pulse, much less a nice day.
That sounds like a Dorothy thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caleb, another song-based question.
Okay.
What song do the girls sing as a lullaby to get a baby to sleep?
Oh,
I
Mr.
know
Sandman.
Yep.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yep.
And Dorothy going the yes.
Yeah.
Who didn't want anyone to meet her date because he was a little person?
That would be Rose.
I just rewatched that episode too. Okay. On what night of the week did the show air?
Oh, I remember this.
Oh my gosh. Was it a Thursday?
It was a Saturday night, 9
Was it?
o'clock.
I had a
Little
1 in
Jodie
7
used to set her
chance.
VCR for it, if we ever went out.
Okay. And then this is Jodie. For how many years were Stan and Dorothy married?
38.
And we are at 14-8.
That's okay. Caleb will probably slide in for the finish or something. It's all
It would make quite a slide. Stretching all the way.
right. You're probably taller than me, yeah.
All right, Caleb. This is a quote. Everybody always likes me.
Rose.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the episode with the Ivanskap Kaka.
Everybody always
Jodie.
likes me. Yeah.
Which girl's husband fathered an illegitimate son?
Blanche.
Yes. Caleb, if you don't get this question, which
If you don't
golden
get this
girl-
question, just turn the computer off right now. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
Which golden girl told a neighbor to drop dead, and she did?
Oh, well, that was Rose to Mrs. Claxton.
Okay. And then Jodie, who dreamed of being romantically torn between Sonny Bono and Lyle Wagner?
I mean, Dorothy was the one who was torn, wasn't she?
Yes.
But was it her dream?
Yes.
For some reason, I didn't think it was her dream, but okay, yeah, it was Dorothy. I don't know why I thought it was. I knew that it was Dorothy, but I thought for some reason it was Blanche's dream.
Yeah, I thought it was somebody else's dream too.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like the episode where Blanche dreams that George is alive.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I think we're right, Caleb. I think it was Blanche's dream, but Dorothy's the one who benefited from the double dates there.
All right. Caleb, why was Blanche's date to the senior prom considered scandalous?
Oh my gosh, because he was Presbyterian or something?
No.
Wasn't that it?
No.
I don't know, because he was a teacher. I don't know.
Because he was a Yankee.
Ah. Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yankee.
I remember the bit. Like I remember the setup where you think that she's going to reveal that he was black or that he was something along those lines, that it was like everybody was scandalized, and then it turns out it's because he was a Yankee.
That killer Southern accent.
Okay, so we are down to 7 questions. So, another quote. If God wanted peaches suspended in midair, he would have filled them with helium.
Who's this to?
Jodie.
Context. Hey, I'm just gonna go with it. Dorothy. Is it Dorothy?
Nope.
Okay. Then if it's not Dorothy, it's got to be Sophia. Is that right?
Yes.
Is this, oh.
Yeah.
Keeping us in suspense.
Okay. All right. I know I'm behaving like a fool, but I have a right to sing the blues.
That's to me.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Yes.
Who accidentally shot the vase by the front door of the house?
Didn't we just talk about this?
We did.
And I'm still gonna get it wrong. Isn't it Rose?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great episode, actually.
Yeah, it makes sense that their house is broken into, considering that they have no lock on their door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah.
Okay. I passed a kidney stone once that was less painful than this.
Caleb.
I feel like it's either Dorothy or Sophia. gonna go with Sophia.
Yes.
Ah, yes. I was like the joke, like medical jokes tend to be Sophia, I think.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's whose
Right.
voice I hear those in.
Okay. What was the name of Blanche's childhood home?
Oh. Oh my goodness. How am I blanking on this of all things? Oh my goodness. Like all these southern things, I know it's Savannah, but oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to hang my head in shame if I can't get this. Oh my goodness. This is why, oh my goodness, this is such a softball too. See that? I squandered all those early questions. Oh my goodness. Where did Big Daddy and Blanche and Charmaine and Virginia live? Oh my goodness, I forgot. I blanked.
Do they just call it Hollingsworth Manor?
It's called Twin Oaks.
Twin
Oh.
Oaks.
Huh.
Twin Oaks. Okay.
And Blanche has another brother, although he's only seen on an episode of The Golden Palace.
Huh. What's the other brother's name?
I do not remember, but he lives in a group home because he has some unnamed disability.
Okay.
And it's actually kind of a sweet episode because you get to see a different side of Blanche.
You know what's interesting? If you think about all the like the soap opera asides and all their lives, like, you know, all four of them, you know, a sister who had this, a mother who had this, you know, a past that was this, a husband that did this, you know, and you put it all together, it's really soap opera-y, which is, I'm sure it's just a matter of, you know, we needed side stories over the course of whatever it was, 7 seasons or something, but yeah.
All right. Caleb, name the man both Blanche and Sophia dated at the same time.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. I love this episode.
oh, I know.
I saw all the time. I still quote that the man in the box is a bum.
I know.
And what was his name? It was Victor.
That's incorrect.
Fidel, right?
That is
Del.
correct. Yep.
That's right.
Fidel Santiago.
Played by Cesar Romero, right? Is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, final question. Who appeared in a production of Showboat in high school?
Who's this to?
I think it's to
Jodie.
you. Yeah.
Showboat. I don't know. I could be funny and just say Dorothy because that was my answer for everything. Wasn't it?
Well, you know,
It's probably
you go
not,
with-
but it would be really funny to think of Dorothy and Showboat, so I'm going to go with it.
And it was.
It was.
And so the final score, Caleb, 13.
Yay.
Jodie, 19.
All right.
Congratulations.
Okay, one for each of us.
I
We
know.
nailed it. All right.
Yay.
Yeah, but the Golden Palace is interesting because it clears up some storylines. Like they bring back Stan for an episode.
Wow.
They also bring back Miles.
Oh, yeah?
I think twice. Their story ending is not that great, but
Yeah.
the one for Stan's completely believable. Although it also gives some interesting theories that Sophia was starting to experience signs of dementia, that she might have imagined the whole thing.
Oh.
Nah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't like it when they don't. That's not canon. It's not Golden Girls canon, if we say so.
Yeah, exactly. I did discover, so when earlier today we were talking about the Betty White show, there's only one episode in particular that I really remember, and I found it's on YouTube, so I'm going to try to watch it tonight because it's been a long time.
I'd like to see that. I don't think I ever did.
It's This show is uneven, but it's got Betty White, and it's also got Georgia Engel from the Mary
Oh
Tyler Moore
yeah,
Show.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
playing a similar. I mean, they're both playing similar characters, uh, but it's sort of like Betty White is very funny. It's just so weird, though. It's weird to watch her because I'm so used to her as Rose. Like, to me, she
Yeah.
is and was Rose. And to find out that she, in real life, compares herself more to Sue Ann, like more to those
Hmm.
characters than she does to Rose. And seeing just how sort of like snide and conniving she is as Sue Ann, and how like on the Betty White show, it was very much she's this actress who she's starring in it's like a policewoman knockoff. But this episode, her young, pretty, kind of ditzy co-star writes like it gets the producers to let her write a script for the show I think it's called like Undercover Woman or something. And of course, all of it is like the script minimizes Betty White's character, like Joyce's character in the show, like as the undercover woman. And there's just some bit where she's reading, she's reading the script, and she's like, so on like page 3, I get abducted, and I don't come back again until page 27 when they like thugs like hustle me out of the trunk of a van and like sew me up in a soundproof rubber bag. I have quoted that so many times just because I'm like, I love the imagery of the soundproof rubber bag.
Right, right. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Do you
it
know
was the
that?
same for me that I came to know her as Rose, and it was the same thing. It was weird that everyone else was older than us, right? Had that image of her as Sue Ann Nivens, and you're right, like her
Yeah.
persona, the way she joke around and double entendres was a lot more like that. And then also, same sequence was I watched Maude second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dorothy and Blanche were Dorothy and Blanche. So to see,
Yeah.
Maude, and I already forgot what was Rue McClanahan's character's name in Maude? I forgot the neighbor there. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. I'm blanking, but it was.
yeah. Have you ever seen Maude,
I have
Anna?
seen. Oh,
Both
I
of you, actually.
I watched part of the first episode a
Have you
couple
seen
days
it
ago.
a fair amount, Caleb?
I have not a lot. I have seen it, but it was sort of like by the time it was in regular reruns, it was during a time period when I wasn't watching a lot of
Okay.
reruns. Like
Yeah.
I had gotten hooked on, oh my gosh, like in high school and in college, I watched all these reruns, but shortly after that, I got just like addicted to the basic cable, and I had a whole slate of shows, so I basically just stopped watching the reruns. Would like to revisit it. Her character's name
No,
is Vivian.
that was Vivian, right? Yes,
Yeah.
Vivian, right? Viv, and she's called her Viv. No, that was totally me too. That I would watch like TV Land and all that stuff. I was just
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, Maude used to be on like I don't know, like in the summer, like when I would sit down to lunch or something. But I remember having this stretch of where that was on, and it was very funny. Yeah. Here's my fun tidbit that I came across about Dorothy. So Chrissy, right, that Stan left her for.
Yeah.
She actually didn't like that actress in real life.
Really?
So yeah, they had worked. So the recap that I read was that um, B. Arthur herself had gotten divorced, and I'm not sure if there was a younger woman involved, but it was not a good divorce. It was an ugly one. And a few years later, she worked on a set of a show that I don't remember. It was supposed to be like a Faulty Towers remake or something. And this young actress played her daughter-in-law, and they were, kind of went head to head. And the actress, who's the one that ended up playing Chrissy, said that she thought, I don't know, maybe there was a little bit of transference, and between the way she had to act toward the character and whatever else she had going on, B just went at her and they didn't hit it off, or more like B didn't like her. And so it was good casting, but bad casting at the same time, because
Yeah.
soon as she saw her agent pitched her for it, she's like, what's B gonna say about this when I get it? So yeah. So
Yeah.
she actually did not like Stan's wife. So
Huh.
any vitriol you see there might be real.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
then
know that.
I found out that there was an episode whose scene got cut, is not in the DVD, not on any of the Hulu or on any of the TV shows. It got cut from the original broadcast. So the episode where Blanche gets the pacemaker,
Mhm.
they talk about getting rid of their microwave and how they had to get rid of their microwave because now Blanche has a pacemaker.
Yeah.
There's a scene at the end of the episode where Sophia basically says, "Does anyone want popcorn?" And apparently, the reason why everyone laughed at that scene, if you've seen the reruns, is because of a cut scene where they talk about if you use a microwave around somebody with a pacemaker,
Oh,
it'll kill them. And so
got it.
it's a way of Sophia being like, let's just kill Blanche.
So they thought that was too edgy and they got rid of that line?
No, it was something with the microwave people getting mad or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
But the reconstructed scene was on
It's
YouTube.
even better probably than the original joke, right?
That's
So
really
another
funny.
thing I read was, remember when they had the episode where they were breeding minks?
Yes.
And
Maybe.
then, yeah, they did not like that episode because they were all animal rights lovers, animal rights
Oh,
people and animal
right.
lovers. Or
Yeah.
I don't know about Estelle Getty, but Betty was, B, Rue. They
Yeah.
really took that seriously. They did not like it and they didn't want to shoot it, but it was too late. It was already written. They just had to do it, but they did not like that episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Estelle Getty was the reason why a number of jokes that would have been probably really homophobic got cut from the episode where Phil dies.
Ah.
Because she was like, I am not doing this. This
Oh,
is
Sure.
not something that my character would do or any mother would do. And
Yeah.
they cut the lines.
Good. Good for her.
and that one actually ended, sad, that episode.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was with Brenda Vaccaro as his wife. I remember that because that is one of those things where it was like it's a funny episode. It's like, fairly irreverent in their typical style, and then it turns on a dime.
Yeah, yeah. They were good at that, actually. They were good at that, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that Betty White was friends with John Steinbeck?
No. Wow.
That's one of the things that she reveals in one of her memoirs.
I think I have.
Huh.
I think I have it in here. I had her memoir. I think I have it on the bookshelf. Hold on, let's see if I do. Keep talking.
But I read that and I was like, what the heck?
Huh. I had no idea. Are we on? Is this on? I should know this. We're on YouTube, yeah?
Yes.
I'm telling people that we're on YouTube. Yeah, that's really interesting. I wish that I knew more behind the scenes trivia about Golden Girls, but I feel like it's so funny because I watched so much of the show. Oh my gosh, look at that.
This is like, what's really funny is like, would you pick this up in a bookstore and be like, my 10-year-old would really love that for Christmas, right? But I was so young when this came out, and I was a kid. Definitely a kid. I was not even a teenager when this. Yeah, 1987 it came out. So, they were a few years into the show, and I devoured that autobiography. Yeah.
I know. I was just saying that I don't actually know a lot of like behind the scenes trivia about Golden Girls, but like in
My friend got me a
2000,
book, so that's why I know that.
in 2011 when my husband and I moved to Finland, we knew we weren't going to own a television, so I bought like one of those like giant wallets and filled it with discs, like DVD wallets.
Oh yeah.
And I brought the full Golden Girls collection. So I had every disc, like every episode, and we just watched Golden Girls for that first year. That was our
That's cool.
entertainment. Yeah, we just
That's
like
cool.
marathon Golden Girls.
And you like remember it for some reason if you watch something in a certain place. I don't know if it's like that for you, but it's like that for me. If I
Yeah.
watch something, I'm not home and I'm watching it, somehow I remember it better. Like I can remember like
Yes.
I saw this movie here, I saw this show here, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's cool.
We saw an episode of, it was American Dad. We were in St. Petersburg, and it was playing, like Russia, and it was playing on the television in our hotel room, dubbed in Russian. And this is actually fairly typical of that part of the world. You could still hear the English underneath. And it's just
Why would we
one
bother
dude.
muting that entirely, right?
Yeah, it's one dude speaking in red, like kind of like flat, no inflection, just reading the lines, speaking over the actual like original like English language. So you hear them in the back, like the actual voices in the background. And
That's
it's just
so
this like dude
bad.
talking over it. Yeah.
That's so bad.
But it is funny. And I know that Golden Girls has been dubbed into a dozen languages. I do have similar. I have the French theme song, like translated into
Oh.
French. Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know where
I
I
wonder
have
how it
that.
plays in other countries. I wonder how that humor
Mhm.
is in other countries.
Well, I think about that sometimes, and it's sort of like, because I have a couple of my books are translated into German, and I'm like, I wonder if like the really colloquial jokes and the stuff that is like real like pop cultural things, like how
Right.
these translate, because there isn't always necessarily a one for one, but
Right.
yeah. But my husband does translating professionally, and so he uses some of
That's what he
that.
does by trade. Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the things that he does. But
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, he translates Latvian literature into English, and so it's like
Wow.
I'm trying to find equivalent phrases or phrases that have basically get the same like general feeling to them, even if there is no one-to-one. So it's interesting.
All right, we're at an hour. We like to chat around here.
We do.
That's good though.
Yay! Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys both.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coordinating, Anna.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
before you go, try to name one book that's coming out sometime this year that's not yours, that you're greatly looking forward to, or that you've read and that you're greatly looking forward to other people reading.
I have an answer, but I want to make sure that it's I want to make sure the publication date is this year, because I've picked that before. Come on, man. Oops. There we go.
Should it be YA or any book?
Any.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out again to Chasing Starlight because I blurbed it, so I liked it. And also, the one I mentioned last time, I think I was still reading it last time, is the one that you got me into, which was The Sundown Motel. That was excellent. It was one of the best I've read in a while. Really, really liked that a lot.
I'm going to shout out Half-Life by Lillian Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Because that one comes out June 9th.
Yes.
So that is right around the corner. And it's really good. She is so good at writing like friendships, like very specifically about writing friendships, and writing prickly girls. And I like that a lot. I appreciate it. Sort of like one of my favorite like authors of adult fiction is Sarah Paretsky, because she does that so well. Like I find V.A. Warshawski to be one of the most intriguing main characters in like possibly all of contemporary literature, just because she is so prickly. Like she's like deliberately, she's like an angry person and she reacts in anger. Lillian Clark's character, her character isn't quite like that, but she is difficult, or can be difficult. But this is a book in which her character really analyzes her own character flaws. I don't know. It's a really fascinating. It's a really interesting book. There's like science fiction in there. There's some like, it's good. So I recommend it.
I haven't read it, but I chat with Lillian here and there, so I'm rooting for her success with Half-Life.
Yes.
And here's her first book.
Oh yeah.
Which, if you liked Caleb's Death Prefers Blondes, this is a good one to also read.
Yeah, and Moral Code is also really, really good. And it's a group of friends that perform a heist together, so it is a good read along with Death Prefers Blondes.
Yeah, and later this year, looking forward to Kelly Coon's War Maidens, sequel to Grave Maidens. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun for me as a 19 debut to see, sophomore novels, whether it's a sequel or just what they've got going on this year. So
Yeah. Yay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
all right, we'll do it again somehow, somewhere, some kind of trivia, right?
Sometime. Yeah,
All right.
exactly.